has dialogue and stuff in it this time. It feels like they have gotten rid of a lot of unnecessary corridors. Like the old one always felt like you had to go sort of a roundabout way to get somewhere, but that was probably just to hide load screens. So they've cut down all those hallways. The elevator rides don't take as long. Stuff like that. They modernized the controls, made it kind of more third-person shootery style controls. Yeah, I mean it's a real good solid remake. What? Enjoy. Yeah, this seems like a scary game to do that to. You know, somebody came up with the idea for this game probably while high and watching the kids. Don't you worry. All right, guys. See you later. But I will let you go. Sure. Yeah. But I will let you go before you go, guys. Yeah, just keep me up to date. All right. Bye. You all right up there? Yeah. Yeah, girl. Yeah. How are you doing? Playing Grounded with Kurt and Ian. Oh, Ian's back, huh? Well, I mean, Ian is still where he is. He's just not. Stash is not talking to him. Oh, Stash is still not made up with him, huh? No, I'm not going to do it. Well, I guess they're really seriously in the talks of getting ready. Ah, man, that sucks. Getting ready to come up here. Oh yeah? Mm-hmm. Why is that? Well, Megan's getting scared because her mom is not doing very well. They put her on oxygen. And her mom is doing the stubborn parent thing. I mean, people live for years on oxygen. That's what I told her. It happens. But there are probably also younger than this. So we'll play Dragon. He says, I'm ready. I've been ready. My character's ready. And he goes, but in theory, what is it? Woo! That was a tough one, but I did it. It took a couple tries though. You and particularly Mar are going to be sad with this next part, I think. Oh no. Yeah. Because I was reading earlier before I started playing with them. I was reading through the stuff for this last dungeon. There are lots of high rolls needed to progress. you would need to make a DC 20, roll for whichever thing it is, in order to, once you figure out how the pillars function. If you want to disable one, it's like a DC 20 roll in a particular thing, that you, if you fail a roll, finish a long rest. If you, there's parts of the place that'll start giving you levels of exhaustion. You spend hours in there. There's it's a proper bad guy's final dungeon. Just stymie you or kill you.
What Esteban say about it?
I told him, I said, this is probably going to be the hardest thing you guys have ever done.
And it's going to be long.
No, I mean, it's not long like dungeon crawl. It's just like, yeah, you go this way. Okay, here's what's here. What do you want to do? I want to examine this thing. All right, I need you to make a DC 20 Arcana check.
Well, that ain't going to work for me because
there's multiple options of what you can try to do. So, like, if nobody has Arcana, maybe one of the other options will work for you. They tried to give multiple ways of getting around the problem. It's just that it all takes high rolls to make it happen.
Well, that will instantly. I might not get as pissed as Mar will.
So I'm trying to just do it the way the dungeon dudes wrote it.
Because that's how he would want it.
Yeah.
Esteban.
Yeah, I told him, I said, this sounds like the hardest shit you guys have ever done. He said, it's good, it sounds proper to me. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Until Mar starts.
I'll just tell everybody straight up before we start, like, okay, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I don't know if you're gonna get through this, but I'm gonna give it to you the way the dungeon dudes wrote it.
I already have a backup plan for if Alethea dies.
If you guys die in here, you might as well just say, well,
Jammers.
Casimir won. Rod's fault, everyone dies. Like hell, even when you get to the front gate, there's basically a rainbow gate, which basically is 6 or so layers. Each one is a different color. A different thing is needed to destroy it or disable it. Compound that, you're on a time limit. Well, you're going to get as soon as you try to destroy a layer, 2 stone golems come to life and try to attack the party. You're dealing with them. You're also on a time limit because before long, the light hunters will show up. Now, if the light hunters get you, they're not trying to kill you. They want to capture you, and then they'll take and throw you in a jail cell inside, and then a different sequence of events, has to play out. You'll have 2d12 if you do end up getting captured, which seems very likely. If you do end up getting captured and you end up in a jail cell, you have 2d12 hours to figure out, a way to escape. They take all of your gear if you get caught. You have to then go find where your gear is, get it back.
Now that I don't like. You can't take my dragon. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, you can't take that, but they'll take all of your, because that's like a magic thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Spellcaster, well, they would probably, spellcasters that use spell books, they're fucked because they'll take your book.
Yeah. That, he might be like, it's changing my body.
They cut off the wrist.
I am just like, you know what? The way I'm figuring in the end, I will do my. Even if I die,
Yeah.
I'm still writing in my notes the epilogue.
Yeah.
Because I literally am just like, if I die, I'm taking over Liliana because there's no point.
Well, I mean, she'll be with you guys. I mean, she can try to keep you alive. You know, she's at least got healing spells and shit like that. So, yeah. But the odds will definitely be a bit more in your favor with her on your side. But that's still not going to help you. In order to even get to where you can fight Casimir, you have to destroy 4 of the 6 pillars. You have to destroy or disable. Now, in order to do that, you have to do a DC 20 check to examine. You have to do some kind of DC 20 check to shut it down, to deface it, or to try. You could also try just straight up attacking it. If you do try straight up attacking it, there are things that happen on a randomly rollable table. Basically, magic flares from the thing. Shit happens. We'll just say Esteban will really enjoy it.
Joe might like it. Me and Mara are just going to be like, this is dumb.
Mara is probably going to fucking hate it. Like, what? That's the way the Dungeon Dudes wrote it. We're going to go with it.
I kind of figured something like that because I thought that the whole thing, the final chapter, was harsh.
Huh.
In Grim Hollow.
Well, I mean, it is a dark
because
fantasy.
A lot of people said they actually TPK'd.
Yeah.
Or only one person lived by the time they got to Casimir.
Now, here's the thing too. Getting to him is kind of like fighting Tiamat. If you can keep enough pillars destroyed, it does things to weaken him. Because fighting him is like fighting Tiamat. He's like a CR 26 dude. The thing is, if you disable a pillar, like if all you do is disable it or just kind of damage it in some way, he's got like automatons that'll come repair them, and depending on how you damage them, they could be repaired within an hour or a couple hours, or most certainly if you take a long rest, they will be fixed. At least one of them will be fixed. So then you would have to figure out basically how to deal with the automatons. You could lure them into a fight and try to destroy them. Yeah. It's not a grid crawl, but it's a proper D&D dungeon.
Yeah, Mar is not going to be happy. I'm indifferent because I'm kind of like, I've already got in my head how things are going to go.
Yeah. That's the thing about it, you know.
If I die, it's like, well, in the end,
It's like that's one way it could have went.
And then at the end, all of a sudden, you see Alethea's character back from the dead as a reborn.
Yeah.
And she's with her dragon, and they do what they said they were going to do in the epilogue.
But yeah. The way the Dungeon Dudes wrote it, it is there to bust your ass.
Well, that's what Esteban wanted.
That's not typically how I run a game, you know. But yeah.
That's probably a good spot to stop because it's getting late. And I do want to step outside and see if I can see